Okay.
All right, we're gonna give our first candle over here.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna give our first candle over here. Wow. Keneged the nefesh of Rabbi Chaim Vital. Yeah. To our cameraman, Gabriel Chai. Please light lezecher v'leilu nishmat Rabbi Chaim Vital. Say lezecher v'leilu nishmat Rabbi Chaim Vital ben Rabbi Yosef. Talmid Ari HaKadosh. Ari HaKadosh.
Yeah. Thank you. Close the window for a minute. It might blow it out. Go ahead.
The second one we're gonna give to Ariel ben Binyamin. Keneged the ruach of Rabbi Chaim Vital.
Oh, ice is coming.
Lezecher v'leilu nishmat Rabbi Chaim Vital ben Rabbi Yosef.
Rabbi
Chaim Vital ben Rabbi Yosef. Talmid Ari HaKadosh. Next. The third one we're gonna give to Rochelle to light the neshama of Rabbi Chaim Vital. Lezecher Rabbi Chaim Vital ben Rabbi Yosef Talmid Hari.
Das Ras with book.
The back of Hazan.
The fourth one we're gonna give to this tzaddik over here. Yeah, you. Yeah, you.
Wow.
No, not you. You're the next one.
No, not you.
This one over here with the white kippah.
The Ezra.
You call three places, one after another.
Say lezecher Rabbi Chaim Vital ben Rabbi Yosef Talmid Hari.
Thanks, my friend. Be careful.
And the last one with this light.
Here.
Just like the match.
Yeah, lights for a long time.
Come. What did you say?
Emmanuel.
Emmanuel ben Simcha. Do you like the middle? That's Keneged the Yichida, the Keter.
That is the highest.
The highest. Lezecher Rabbi Chaim Vital ben Rabbi Yosef Talmid Hari. Kadosh.
Thank you, Rabbi. I hope I didn't intrude.
Intrude?
Like, you know.
If you're here, you're part of it. You're part of the neshama.
Thank you, Robert. Appreciate it.
So we're starting our HELULA of Rabbi Chaim Vital. So I'm in a bit of a dilemma. What do I start with? Do I start with the kavanah of Sfirat HaOmer that Rabbi Chaim Vital accepted from the Ari HaKadosh?
The Kavanah.
Or do I start with a story of his?
Story.
But the story is going to go into many things.
Kavanah, let's go Kavanah.
Huh?
You might not come back to
Practical.
You might not come to the kavanah? Huh? What do you say? The kavanot? Okay.
Yes.
I gotta say one small story then. May I? Because Rabbi Chaim Vital. First of all, I want to tell you guys a little background on his neshama. Who's Rabbi Chaim Vital's neshama? Now, a lot of things people here will hear today. Many of the guys here, I'm sure many of the guys here follow the shiurim here and there over the years. But I'm just gonna say in short that Rabbi Chaim Vital's neshama. So, if anybody hears the Shar Gilgulim shiurim, we're in Hagdama Yud Aleph, the 11th Hagdama. So the souls work like this. There is one big soul, Ariel. There is one big soul. It's called Adam. Adam. He's the soul. Okay? He's the soul. Okay? Yetzir kapav shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Before him, there was no creation. There was no human creation. I know some people want to say God created 974 generations before him. Those were not physical human creations. Okay? Those tatka adorot were not human creations. Okay? It's pashut from the Ari HaKadosh. Of course, we Sfaradim, this is our heritage. Rabbeinu Ha'ari, Rabbi Chaim Vital, the Ramaz, Rabbi Moshe Zachuta, Rabbi Chaim Arofeh, down to the Rashash, Rabbi Gedalia Chayun, the Ben Ish Chai, Rav Azriel, all those Mekubalim, Kedoshim, this is our heritage. So we got to follow our heritage. Never ever be ashamed for being Sfaradi, for being, every Edah has their own greatness, okay? Every Shevet, every tribe has its own greatness, okay? So the Sfaradim, we may not have the, they call it Olam HaTorah, the world of Torah, right? But we do have a gem, a diamond, that's worth, 1 hour of it is worth 10,000 hours of Gemara. Okay? And I'm not saying, it's not my words, it's the words of the Mikdash Melech, Rabbi Yehuda Ftai quotes it. 1 hour of learning the Pnimius HaTorah, learning the inside of the Torah is worth to a year, says the Mikdash Melech. Rabbi Shalom Buzaglo. 1 year of learning Pshat. He says Gemara, but Pshat he means in general. So never ever, this is your heritage. And I want to tell you guys one thing. Many halachot that all the Jewish world keeps, the whole Jewish world keeps, comes from the Ari HaKadosh. They don't even know what they do with it. He was so accepted unanimously. It was as if he was Moshe Rabbeinu. I'm not exaggerating. I kid you not. You see, Jewish people from the time of Moshe till today, we've had select leaders that they were called leaders of the generation. How do you call it? Unanimous leaders, right? For example, no dispute leaders. For example, Rav Ovadia Yosef. He was an undisputed leader of the generation. Ashkenazim, Sfaradim, Hasidim. They all knew he was a million people at a person's levaya. Is anything to say more than that? The greatest levaya in history, probably in history. Yep. 1 million people. At 800,000, they stopped counting. They couldn't count anymore. 1 million. That's one example. That's a recent example. You have people like Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi, the writer of the Mishnah, the Oral Torah. They said even Kohanim were able to go to his levaya. Even Kohanim cannot go to a levaya when you follow the casket. They can't go. They might be contaminated to the met. It says anybody who was in his levaya is mizuma is ben olam haba, mizuman lechaya olam haba. Wow! Just by going to his thing. And there were some leaders, Moshe Rabbeinu, right? There were Hillel HaZaken. They were like, how you say, unanimous leaders. One of those unanimous leaders is the Ari HaKadosh. No matter where you go, Hasidim, Litayim, Sfaradim, everyone knows whenever the Ari says something, it's as they say, when the lion roars, who will not fear? Aryeh ki yish'ag, mi lo yira. But we're making a very crucial mistake when we learn Rabbeinu Ari. What's the crucial mistake? The Ari, Rabbeinu Yitzhak Luria, Ashkenazi, he was an Ashkenazi, from the land of Ashkenaz, from the river Luria. He didn't come to this world for himself.
To teach.
He came to this world only because he had to find one Sephardic Jew to give him over all the Torah that he had, and that man was Rabbi Chaim Vital. So in my hands I hold the journal of Rabbi Chaim Vital. This is his personal journal. He was born in the year 15, I wrote it down this morning because it's in Hebrew in the book. He was born in the year 1543. This is right after the Spanish Inquisition. This is like the Jewish world is in turmoil right now. The golden age of Spain has set, and a new age has dawned. The age of the Acharonim, starting with Rav Yosef Karo, the Ari, Rav Chaim Vital, down to our times, and we are at that end of the time of the Acharonim. We're hoping that we're reaching a crossroads right now, right? Because every era never lasted more than 500 years. If we talk about the Anshe Knesset Hagedola, the Nevi'im, the Zekenim, the Zugot, every era lasted not more, many of them less than 500 years. So Here is a beautiful story. So I need to start off his HELULA. When I was a young boy, so the R.Chaim took us to Williamsburg, and there was a small shul at a hole in the wall. It was called Beit Midrash Marchu. Marchu is Rabbi Chaim, Rabbi Tal. And over there was a elderly gentleman, a Syrian elderly gentleman called Rav Moadev. He named his yeshiva after Chaim. It was smaller than here, that's for sure. And he used to have every night 20, 30 Talmidei Chaim Kola. He was one of the first people in America that I saw doing HELULOT for the tzaddikim. He moved to Tzfat a couple of years back. He moved to Tzfat because he believed Mashiach is coming in a very, very soon. So he lives in Tzfat today. But he wanted to be with in Israel when that happens. I'm not kidding you. I'm not making some. I know this for a fact because I know him for a fact. And when I got to his yeshiva, to his kollel, so he was one of the first people who sent rabbis to come to Queens to teach the studies of the mystical Torah over here. And we used to learn here for many, many months. Maybe more than a year with rabbis, and he would pay us to learn. I just got married, extra $150 a month was for me gold. So, and we used to learn, and I thank him till today, even though many of the things he taught me I already knew from my father and from different chachamim, but to see it being done firsthand, to see a group of 10 men, praying with Sidur HaRashash, to me was a chiddush, because I never saw this before in my life. Because I knew maybe there's one guy in the shul here, one guy who's just flipping pages over there. Like I've seen this before, but to see 10 chachamim, shacharit, mincha, and aravit, and I saw rabbis over there who would not take a penny from another human being. They would come to a HELULA, put money on the table, and leave. Like they say, real chachamim, they don't like to enjoy from anybody else. If they do, they make sure to give something back. I saw a lot of things over there. He taught me yichudim, he taught me many things. We were very close for a certain amount of time. At that time, I was in my nutnik stage. Now I'm not much of a nutnik. Now people do that, to me. And because today there's WhatsApp, of course, which I send down the window. But I was a nutnik back then, and I used to really make him crazy. Like, teach me this, teach me that, read it with me. How did you learn this from your Rav? And he met all the greats. He met the Zakana Mekubalim. He met Rav Yitzchak. He knew a lot of people, and I heard a lot of stories for him. And I have actually a small notebook of all the things that I heard from him. He actually had an uncle, Rav Yitzchak Jabra. He was so kadosh, this rabbi, that every time he used to use the bathroom, he used to use the mikveh. To that extent. Now you might see that as fanaticism because you're not Rav Yitzchak Jabra, right? You're you. But that in his level, and that rabbi's level, this rabbi that I learned by, he had an uncle that every time he used mamish dip in a mikveh. There was going to be as a shock. Like I know I taught you guys on Shabbos, before you daven mincha and marv, you have to wash your hands. So for him, it was not just washing your hands before mincha and marv. You had to go to a mikveh before mincha and marv. So they say. We say 49 days of the Omer before Shavuot. Why do we do that? Chachamim say to accept something, you have to prepare for it. What's the preparation? Sefirat Omer. If I just go to a guy right now, hey, Torah, accept. He'll be happy for a day, or he'll be just too excited and he'll just throw it away. But if I prepare you for it, and you gradually get excited. You gradually get excited until, wow, now I have it. Now I'm ready to accept it. That's why the Zohar is very, very stringent about a guy who skips Sfirat Omer. The Zohar says not the nicest thing of a person who skips it, but a person who Chas v'Shalom he did miss it, he has to stop counting. He has to continue counting, but without a beracha, or he has to hear the bracha for somebody else. Chatzi nechama, right, Gabriel? Hopefully we don't miss this year, right? Bezrat Hashem Yivaya.
May I ask a question?
Quickly.
The question is, why so much emphasis on something where we don't really have a Beit HaMikdash anymore?
The reason is because we don't need a Beit HaMikdash to be the greatest Jews that we could be. The fact that we were born in this era means we don't need it right now. Hashem would not put you in a place where I cannot be 100%. Now, Beis Hamikdash was a tool to get to 100%. To get to 100%, right? That was the whole point of the Beis Hamikdash. If I'm born right now, it's a sign for me that I need to get somewhere I need to get, even without the Beis Hamikdash, even without it. Okay, I need to, because maybe I lived in a time where there was a Beis Hamikdash, and for me davening was nothing because I knew there was a Kohen that brought a korban. So Hashem brings me down right now specifically, so I should learn how to daven even without the Kohen doing the job in the Beis Hamikdash. I can give you hundreds of examples like that. Beis Hamikdash is very important and it's the center of Jewish life, but it doesn't mean that your life stops if you don't have it. You have to keep on going. I'm going to tell you a chidush right now. You know this chidush, but it's not a chidush. It's emet lamitut ha'inyan. Rav Eliyahu Mani. You know who he was? Rav Eliyahu Mani. Everybody heard of him? Rav Eliyahu Mani.
Yeah.
The Rebbe of the Ben Ish Chai, the Talmid Chaver of the Ben Ish Chai. He was the Rosh Yeshiva. He was in Bet El. He was the Rav of Hebron. Rav Eliyahu Mani said, in these days we could keep all the mitzvot, even the ones that are not in the Beis Hamikdash. The ones that were in the Beis Hamikdash. For example, Bikurim. You know how I joke with you guys all the time when we read that parasha, Zeh Korban Yom HaBikurim, right? So I say Kol HaBukharim. You know, I joke with you guys because it's the same letters. It's not a coincidence, by the way. So I'm not joking. So there's no coincidences. How do you think Chidushim come out? So the Bikurim is a mitzvah. You got to take of your first fruits and you bring it to the Beis Hamikdash, to the Kohen, and you say the verse, Arami Oved Avi, Hashem brought me to the land, Baruch Hashem, God gave me fruit. Now you might say, what the heck is the point? I plant something in my backyard, I'm going to get some fruit. Right? Okay, 1 year I don't get fruit, 1 year I do get good fruits, 1 year bad. Okay, I got some fruit this year. Says Hashem, no. All the fruit that you get, it's because of what? Of me. So when you get the first one, you can't taste it. You got to give it as a gift to my representative, which is the Kohen. So Rav Eliyahu Mani says, today you could also do that, by the way. Maybe not like it was back then. He says, what do you do? Rav Eliyahu Mani says this. He says, every Jew has to keep 613 mitzvot. He says, what do you do? Anytime you feel like you have abundance of parnasa, buy a nice gift basket for a Talmid Chacham. That's what he says. Like Mishloach Manot. He says, put it, I kid you not. He says, put it in a basket.
Like food?
Yeah, like every time you get an abundance of parnasa and you feel like you want to be Mekayim Mitzvat, HaBikurim. He says, you can't actually do it today, but you could do a semblance of it today.
The first
Yeah. But that's exactly the point. You don't have the first fruits. You don't have the Beis Hamikdash. You don't have all these things. But the point of the mitzvah is not the first fruits in the Beis Hamikdash. You say the point of it exactly. It's appreciation. It's to give. The coin today is the Talmid Chacham. The fruits today is your parnasa because you put it. And before you go to this, Hashem, I can't give bikurim today. May this be instead of my bikurim. He says it's even greater. The Talmid Chacham is a coin. Just come to him. I kid you not. Take a sefer and you're going to see it. Just give it to him and you're going to be as if today, because you have no Beis Hamikdash. But Hashem is going to judge you like you have. It's as if you... Mekayim the mitzvah of Bikurim?
It's probably even greater. The fact that you're doing...
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was. But it's obviously not the actual mitzvah. But if I says Hashem, for example, Zecher lemachazit HaShekel. Why don't you ask on that? Zecher lemachazit HaShekel. Everything we give Zecher. We don't have Beis Hamikdash today. What's the fact? It's tzedakah. You give it to the Shamach. What does he do with it? Either he gives it to the shul, or he gives it to the Talmid Chachamim. Elama, that money that we give before Purim, it's zecher. But the Jews are so, how you say? I promise you, I collect both every year. And I'm saying this without any. Should I give you a massage afterwards? Oh, you're good. So I promise you, every year I collect Machazit HaShekel Matanot Levim. Every year. Guess what I collect more of? Machazit HaShekel. Every year. It's crazy to me. Because one mitzvah is I'm mechayev to mekayim right now. And the other mitzvah is like, it's a zecher. But yet, for some reason, most Yidden, they rap, because you know why? Because when they hold the silver coins in their hand, they feel like, I did something. I felt something, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? People want the Maaseh. So over here too, you have the Maaseh. You say, how come people don't like learning Torah so much?
It's not practice.
They don't know, because, and what does the kids always say to me? What do I need to know this for?
That's the practical.
What, I'm going to be a dayan, I'm learning Masechet Sanhedrin, I'm going to be a judge, I'm going to say Atem Edai. What do I need to know all this for? How could you teach the kid that the etzem alimud, the fact that you're learning is itself the mindset? It's impossible. They're not at level 2. Okay, I myself was not a great lover of learning. You know when I was a great lover of learning? You know when it really hit me? When I was in college. When I was filled with the shmutz. When I was the only yid with a kippah in the college. And I said to myself,
What am I doing here?
Hashem, give me the Gemara back. I just want it back. I remember there were days that I had to go to a park 15 minutes away just to daven mincha and marv, away from the campus over there. There was so much shmutz over there. It was mamish shmutz. But for me, whatever, I was used to it. But that's when I really felt like, now I'm a Jew. And that's what Hashem is doing to all of the Jews today right now, by the way, with all the protests and everything. Don't think Hashem is not doing it. He's the one doing everything. Why? It's all a purpose, to awaken all of us. Hello, you're Jewish. Wake up, you can't run away. And many Jews are waking up. All those crazy ones that are running left, those are unfortunately very lost souls. But many are running right. Many are. I don't want to get into history class over here. Let's go back to R.Chaim Vital. R.Chaim Vital ben Rabbi Yosef was a Talmid of Rabbeinu Ari, and he was chosen by God. The Ari Kadosh says over here, I'm going to tell you a story. To the point, see, many rabbis say, Rabbi Chaim Vital didn't understand the Ari Kadosh. I kid you not. Many rabbis learn like that when the Rav Chaim Vital writes, it seems to me, in the Etz Chaim, we don't follow it. Why? He didn't understand the deepness of his Rebbe. To me, when I hear that, when I read that in Mefarshim's words, it cuts a hole in my heart. Why? The people didn't learn Sefer HaHezionot. They didn't learn the other works. What does it say over here? It says it was 1 year. He says over here. First of all, I'll start from the beginning. He says 2 years before I was born, in the year 50. He was born Rosh Chodesh Cheshvan. He was born on Rosh Chodesh, and he passed away on Rosh Chodesh. He was born in the year 1543. In the year 1541, his father was in Calabria. Their family name was Calabrese. Italian. Sfaradi. He says his father, before he came to Eretz Yisrael, there was a big rabbi in Italy called Chaim Ashkenazi. He came to him and he said to him, I'm going to let you know the future. I heard from a Rav, you know why today these things don't happen to us? Because we stop believing in it. It's the same thing like a leader and his followers. The less the followers believe in the leader, the less power the leader has. We stopped believing in Sibtutei Hayad and Ruach HaKodesh. We stopped believing. We became very scientific and practical people. So why should Hashem send the Shefa down? So in his time, there was a Rav called Rav Chaim Ashkenazi. He came to Yosef Vital, and he said to him, you're going to, in the future, move to Eretz Yisrael. And you're going to live there, and you're going to have a son, and there will be no Chacham greater than him in his generation. And that's the generation of Maran Shulchan Aruch. And you're going to call him Chaim, he tells him. How did the name Chaim Vital come? After him. That rabbi's name was Chaim Ashkenazi. He named him after him. 2 years later, he was born. And when he was 12 years old, or Chaim Vital was 12 years old, he came to a rabbi in Tzfat. He was born in Tzfat. That rabbi knew how to read the palm. It's called Sirtutei Hayad. There's a whole Zohar that talks about how to read the palm. Don't try to figure it out, because I tried. I couldn't figure it out. You'll have no idea what he's talking about over there. There's a Zohar called Zohar Yitro. It talks about how to read the palm and the forehead. Yeah, it's a whole Zohar about it. And he says over here, Rav Chaim was 12 years old. He went to a Rav who knew how to read it. You see, it's not considered old. Old fables to go to these things. Big Chachamim were going to these things. And the person who read his Yat said, no, when you're going to be 24 years old, I see in your hands, you're going to have many bad thoughts because of your wife. Rav Chaim Vital was married 3 times in his life. His first wife was Chana.
Oh no.
Yeah. She did not give him a very easy time, to say the least. So he said, I see when you're going to be 24, you're going to have that way in life, and you're going to leave Torah to have parnasa. R.Chaim Vital, for about 2 years, he was an alchemist, a chemist. Believe it or not. Believe it. Yeah, he has actually a whole book on alchemy, how to make fire burn in water. R.Chaim Vital, all these kind of scientific experiments, right? Alchemy is not just turning gold, metal into gold. There's many different things in alchemy. Yeah. So he said that, and when you're gonna stop learning Torah, obviously not that he stopped learning, he stopped learning
The deep.
exactly. This is before he met Ari. This all is before he met Ari when he was 28, 29. Yes, you're gonna stop learning Torah for 2.5 years, and after that you're gonna have 2 ways in your life. You're gonna have a chance: Gan Eden or Gehenom. If you choose Gan Eden, there will be no greater Jew in your generation. If you choose Gehenom, you will become the greatest evil human being that ever lived in this world. This is what. Thank God he chose the Gan Eden. You understand? That was Rabbi Chaim Vital. It says over here when he was 15 years old. 15. Rav Yosef Karo. This is the story I was getting at. You know Rav Yosef Karo? What do you write? Say it loud. You said it. Why are you doubting yourself? Say it. Louder.
Shulchan Aruch.
The Shulchan Aruch. Guys, if you think of 3 books in this world that are history, the Tanakh, the Bible, Mishnah Torah of the Rambam,
Psalms.
and no, that's part of Tanakh. I gave the whole thing. Tanakh, Mishnah Torah of the Rambam, the Shulchan Aruch. Those are if there's 3 sets of books you have to have, those are the 3 sets. Tanakh, Mishnah Torah, and the Shulchan Aruch. Right? So Rav Yosef Karo, he's the writer of the Shulchan Aruch. He's the Ben Doro of Rav Chaim Vital. Rav Chaim Vital is 16 years old over here. Rav Yosef, and who's his Rebbe? The Al-Sheikh. You guys ever heard of the Al-Sheikh? Where?
Our rabbi uses him a lot.
That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to hear. Yeah. Why do I mention the Al-Sheikh a lot? First of all, I have a certain thing that I have with the Al-Sheikh. That's a story that I can't say. The story for another time. Maybe in 20 years. But when I was in Israel this past time, and I was in a very bad court case, where a goy was coming after me for no reason. I did nothing to this guy, but I helped out a friend, and my name was inside the lawsuit. And for some reason, he picked on me as the main target. I don't know if because my name was very Jewish or not. And I went to the Al-Sheikh. I said the Al-Sheikh, and by the Al-Sheikh, because I knew I had a connection with him, I said the Al-Sheikh. I said the Al-Sheikh HaKadosh. If I come out of this thing, and the Al-Sheikh is the Ari or Yosef Karo, so the Al-Sheikh, if you get me out of this, I'm giving you my word. Every time that I could mention your name, I will mention your name till the last breath comes out of my mouth. And that Yom Kippur, that's when they got out of it. I came back, Yom Kippur, that Yom Kippur, that's when I got out of it clean. It's a story that I don't want to get into it's a story within itself, but Baruch Hashem. So when I mention the Al-Sheikh, I have a very, I feel goosebumps, as they say, you know? So I learn the Al-Sheikh every week on the Parasha. I always try to bring a chidush from the Al-Sheikh in my shiurim. Sometimes because my mind always goes in different places, I don't actually bring the chidush that I wanted to say in his name, but I always prepare a shiur based on the Al-Sheikh. That's how, for me. Now the Al-Sheikh is the Rebbe of Chaim Vital in Pshat. You see, in the time of Yosef Karo, it was right after the Spanish Inquisition. The Jews thought the Mashiach was coming. Because it was the golden age of Spain so dropped on them. It was like Jews were converting to Catholicism. Jews were throwing away Judaism. They were being October 7, you know what we heard? So there's a book that says what happened to them when they ran away to Morocco. October 7 looks small compared to their testifications over there. Like, I'll tell you just a small thing. Maybe I shouldn't say, but I'll say it, because you know what, hear it anyways. One time a Jew rode over there, we ran away to Morocco. Spain and Morocco was right next to each other. The Gibraltar Strait over there. Now you can't build a bridge over there. It's impossible because the rocks under the strait over there are so big. You can't penetrate over there. So either you swim or take a very light boat across. And he said when we got there, the Muslims came to lock the doors in front of us, and they were asking from us millions and millions of dollars just to pass through. I'm just saying millions of dollars just as a mashal. Like, it was very hard. And many of us told us if you don't, because the city doors were closed. This is the Spanish Inquisition. Because if you don't pay us, we're not letting you through Fez, through the main door. So it says we want your daughters. And many of them used to take our daughters, because they were dying of starvation outside the city doors. And the Jewish people, I mean, it's sad to say this, but Erev Rav, of course, it's Erev Rav. They didn't want to exert too much influence on the rulers in Fez to let the Jews in from Spain, because they said if the Jews come in, there's going to be rise of anti-Semitism, refugees. We're going to lose our part inside the city. You know how it is. There's always that Erev Rav. So it says there was Arabs that used to impregnate Jewish girls, but then when they heard the halacha that a Jewish girl that has a baby is Jewish, they used to take the sword and kill the mother and the pregnant mother on the spot over there.
It was in Morocco?
Yeah, not the Jews of Morocco, the Arabs of Morocco.
Right, it was in Morocco.
In Morocco, yeah. And this is testification in Sfarim that what they used to say, what they used to go through over there. This is besides the killings and the burnings and stuff like that. It's mamash like torture to the next level. That's besides what the Jews went through in Spain. Like, just one day, if you're feeling very historical, just go through Spanish Inquisition, torture, utensils. Just Google it. If you see the stuff over there, your hair will stand. The stuff that goes on over there is insane. Most of this was used on Jews. And if the Jew would admit, that he was really Jewish, then they would do an auto-da-fe. I don't know if I'm saying that right. A public burning, where they would take them, and most of them the family too, and they would do a public burning in the name of Yoshka. And you know the thing over here, LaGuardia Hospital?
Yeah.
You know the name LaGuardia is named after?
Mayor.
That's how it all started. The Holy Child of LaGuardia.
The mayor. No, it was the mayor.
It was the name LaGuardia.
Oh.
Is named after the famous Holy Child of LaGuardia. There was I don't want to get too historical with you guys. Maybe one day you guys check this out. You see over here, crazy stuff we went through throughout history. Crazy stuff. And I'm not going through the Crusades even. If you guys hear what happened in the Crusades, your hair will stand over here. But why should we delve into it, The Jewish people always like to see to the future. But remember, Zechor Yamot Olam, always remember your past. Binu not shtor vador, see the generations, ask your elders and they will tell you. That's why we do Hilulot, Rabbi said. To remember our elders, our rabbis who set our ways and where we came from. Any Jewish person that doesn't know where he came from has no future. Who said that? Napoleon. It takes a goy to tell us what we need to know.
I'm gonna go see him.
My brother, I have to say this. My brother was once at one point, a couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago, he used to go to Forest Hills High School. For the, they have like I don't know, a lecture, like a club they had over there, right? So my brother once told me, he said, could you believe in Forest Hills High School? In Stovas Moy. In the Stovas Moy. You guys both said at the same time. Jews don't know who's Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Who's the four mothers? Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, and Leah. Just the basics of who's your mothers, who's your fathers. And when I would tell him, I was like, what? Kevai? Like, what are you talking about? Like, evolution, man. Like, Planet of the... We said this yesterday. You can't get enough of it. Planet of the Apes, War of the Apes. Okay, you want to be an ape? Just be an ape. All right? We'll put you in the zoo. We'll put it over there, $20 to visit your grandparents. Anyways, so the Al-Sheikh HaKadosh, it's sad. We laugh because we can't do anything about it. But we laugh because it's a mitzvah litlotzitz, to make fun of the kochavim. It's a mitzvah to make joke on heretics. On heretics. It's a mitzvah to make jokes about it. It's not just a mitzvah. It's a mitzvah midoraita. Midoraita. No, I didn't say kill him. It's a mitzvah midoraita.
If somebody makes
Yeah?
fun of the Torah, he says it's all crazy.
No,
You
don't-
want to make fun of them?
Don't put yourself in danger.
No, of course.
You
But you're allowed
understand?
to make fun of foolish people who don't accept the
First of all, that's up to debate. When I chose a person to make the joke out of, I chose a very, how you say, it's unanimous. There's no machloket, right? If you believe you came out of an ape, then we could make a little joke out of it, okay? But I'm not talking about, I think, what you're talking about. I'm not talking about that, okay?
In the city, there's too
Yeah,
many.
yeah. I'm not talking about, the city. The city is a sugya within itself. So the Al Shich HaKadosh was told by Rav Yosef Karo. Listen to this, Rabbi Isai. Rav Yosef Karo, who wrote the Shulchan Aruch, was a mystic. And he had a magid. How do you say a magid? An angel. Angel. This angel used to teach him Torah. And he taught him what to write in the Shulchan Aruch. And he told him, tell your student, the Al Shich HaKadosh, that he has a student, Rabbi Chaim Vital. Don't let go of his teachings. Make sure to teach him very good, because he will be my successor in this world. And tell him, half of the world stands in the merit of his father, Rav Yosef Vital. What's the merit of Rav Yosef Vital? What's his merit? That he writes tefillin with kavanah.
Wow. He's selling their parrot to fill in from him.
Who's selling the
I'm just
parrot? He writes tefillin with kavanah. Yeah. I don't know. Don't be a joke. That's only, we saved that for the heretics. Don't do that for the tzaddikim. Because he wrote tefillin with kavanah. Half of the. Anybody wants to look, you can look inside with me. Page 8, page 5. Anybody will see. It's a known thing. Rav Yosef Vital, the father of Chaim Vital, he was the Gilgul, the Nitzotz of who? Rabbi Meir. Moshe Rabbeinu was not over. Rabbi Meir Balanes. It's your guy. Right? Okay. I don't want to get into too many stories over here. It's this book is fascinating. I must have read this book a lot of times, and every time I read it, I get the same Yirat Shamayim. The same Yirat Shamayim, mamash. I'm translating the book, by the way, slowly, page by page. I'm translating it. It's my life's so far. It's something that I chose to do for my. As a kid, we were always taught to write our chidushim down, but those chidushim could be put inside the geniza, as they say. They don't need to see the light of day. What need to see the light of day is things that will help people grow in Torah. And I feel that if this sefer is translated, and it's never been translated before. If it is, I'll be sad. I mean, I won't be sad because nobody could translate it like I do. Yeah, thank you very much. And I feel like this sefer will bring a lot of. I just want to bring an example. The book is written down in 3 parts. Number 1 is what happened in his life, his personal life. Number 2, the dreams that he dreamt. He lived till about 78 years old, 78th Avenue. We're here on 78th Avenue. He lived till 78, of Chaim Vital, and he believed that dreams are real. And any dream that he felt was worthy to be written down, he used to write it down in a notebook. There is a idea from the rabbis that if you feel a dream is real, it's good to write it down. Yeah, it's when you write it down, it's like you give it authenticity.
You give it life.
You give it, saying it to another person also gives it authenticity, but you have to be careful because what he says about that dream could sometimes affect the mazal of the dream, right? So be careful who you say your dreams to. But he used to write it down. The third part of the book is even more interesting. It's with dreams that people dreamt about him.
What?
That's really interesting because, huh? Yeah, so people would tell him what they dreamt about him. It's very interesting stuff. There's just some crazy stuff over here. He sees Rachel Imenu crying, say, listen, we're in a tough spot. This was a crossroads in history over here where Mashiach could have come. But I don't want to get too deep into this because I promised some people over here that I'll talk about Kavanot Sefirat HaOmer. It's not just the mystical and obviously this is what we call the fan service part of the Shir, but now it's the Avodah part of the Shir. Okay? So, unfortunately, or fortunately, Zchut Rabbi Chaim Vitali again Aleinu, and this is the Sefer, by the way. If you feel you could translate it better than me, then you're more than welcome, as long as Am Yisrael will be closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's not a competition, right? Unless there's money involved. No, I'm kidding. So, you know how it is. It's never a competition. Oh, there's something at the end of the line. No. But we're here to read about, learn about a kavana, a meditation, a thought behind Sfirat HaOmer. So, I wrote Adam on the board, but unfortunately he didn't get his kain in Helul. So, what's the kavanah of Sfirat HaOmer? So first of all, I want to show you guys inside the book how long the kavanah of Sfirat HaOmer. Now, don't think that you guys saw me saying Sfirat HaOmer to myself over here. I did it so quickly. I've been doing this literally for more than 10 years. So, for a person who's always, his mind is stimulated, sometimes things go quicker. Okay? So, but for most people, this thing could take at least up until a half an hour. Just to say Sefirat HaOmer. Okay? I just want to give you an example. So you see over here, today is the 10th day of the Omer. This is without the blessing. This is without the blessing. Just the day itself. So look, just to say Asarai, I mean, let's say if the day was 10th day of the Omer, just look at this. Just today is the 10th day of the Omer. You have to know where does the Shefa, where does the power come down on that night? And to where, Avraham, does the power come down to? And it just keeps on going. 1 page, 2 page, 3 page. Then you have to think about how the Chesed and the Gevura goes down into the actual system. The Shefa, the power, goes down into that system that you're going into. Then you have to have the Kavanah, how the positive gives to the negative. Right? So the whole Kavanah keeps on going. Then there's the Yiratzon after that. Now I want to deal with you guys. At the end of the book, there is a Kavanah that's for everybody. I want to talk about this with you today. This Kavanah, it's a general Kavanah. It's an easy one. I believe it's easy. You know, it doesn't look complicated to me, at least. It's actually the Kavanah that I first started with as a Yid.
And what is this kavanah?
Neons ago, okay, huh?
It's just
this
for Sfirat
Kavanah,
HaOmer,
huh?
It's for Sfirat HaOmer, or
It's for Sfirat HaOmer only, but it deals a lot with the stuff that I taught you guys in the past.
Okay.
That's why I wanted to teach you guys tonight. Now, Sfirat HaOmer is so important. Like literally, I'm with my kids, with my son at least. You guys seen my son over here. He's a good kid. God bless him. But you know, every kid is a kid. But I never pushed my son to come to shul, to read, to be at the table. Sometimes I'll push him to say Birkat Hamazon. That's it. I don't believe in that stuff. I didn't like it when I was a kid, personally speaking. And many times my father didn't push me to do many things. So the least I could do is not to do the same thing for my kid. Also with my class, I think you could attest to the fact that I don't push my kids in my class to do anything. And I try to act strict, but I always give them another loophole. But you know what? This is the last chance. You know, sometimes they're just too young to understand that I'm joking, or sometimes they take advantage of it. But whatever. It's a nature. You can't change nature. It's the teva. It's my chasadim and gvurot. You can't change that, right? So, but one thing I am very strict with my kid, now that he's 9, 10 years old, 8, 9, to say Sfirat HaOmer every night. To me, it's very important. Even though he's not chayav, it's not chayav, because when the Zohar says, if you don't count Sfirat HaOmer every night, you will not accept the Torah on Shavuot, to me that means something. If you will not count every night with Sfirat HaOmer, says the Zohar, Parashat Emor, you will not accept the Torah. So for me, I get flabbergasted. How does a person miss Literally, it's saying shakol niya bidvaro. How many shakos and asher yatzars do you say at night? Maybe 10, 20. One beracha. So there's a reason why people miss it. They don't know, they don't care, or it's divine. There's a divine reason they're trying to tell you from Shamayim. You know, you don't deserve it. You gotta work harder. So, not that my son is chayav to say Sfrat Omer, but I try to instill in him Sfrat Omer, to me as a parent, is a very important thing. And I don't think it's a hard thing to do. It's not Birkat Hamazon where you're saying over there a whole Shemona Yisrael, right? It's a bracha. A shekel Shem Sivanu, Asot Omer, Hayom, Echad LaOmer. That's it. You know? When I was a kid, my father was very makpid with me to do Shnai Mikra V'Chat Targum. I could remember as a kid, 8, 9, 10 years old, he used to sit me every Friday, you have to say Shnai Mikra V'Chat Targum. Now, if I was another kid, maybe I would resent that. And I would never say Shnai Mikra V'Chat Targum again for the rest of my life. And for some time I didn't say it, but then that's one thing I never miss in my life. So it depends. You need to have a siyata d'shmaya. Sfrat Omer for me is very important. You have to know what you're doing over there. Says the Ari, in Sfrat Omer, it's no different than Slichot. In the emet of the Inyan, it's no different than Slichot. What you can fix during Sfrat Omer is what you can fix during the month of Tishrei. During Aseret Simei Tshuva. You have actually 49 days to do it, not just 10 days. So the least you could do, you could have some kavanah. Now I taught you guys many times, there's two kinds of dins, right? There's something called shach din, 320 dins, 320 din, right? 320, remember? Then I told you there's something called mansapach, right?
Yeah.
That's the 5 last letters of the alphabet. Those are also dins. Those equal to 8. Correct? We learned this many times before. And in Sefirat HaOmer, our job is for the whole year coming up. That means your Rosh Hashanah is going to depend how you count Sefirat HaOmer. You didn't understand what I said. You smiled, but your ears, I know when you're awake. Your ears gives that twitch. You're not awake. You're half. Your antennas are not. You're not awake. Your Tishrei depends how your Sfrat Omer looks. Should I yell louder? Louder? I can yell pretty loud, by the way. Ask this guy over here. Sometimes his ears pop in the middle of tefillah. Therefore, we have to know how to sweeten the judgment in Sefirat HaOmer. Says Rabbeinu Ha'ari in Shara Kavanot. Every week of Sfrat HaOmer, you're dealing with the 7 premortal sfirot. You guys don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's a whole issue.
The premortal ones, not the ones right now. That means right now we have what? Chesed, Gevura, Tiferet. Always go in order. Always. Netzach, Hod, Yesod, and Malchut. Correct or incorrect?
Correct. The premortal ones with the king's names, no?
Good. You remember that? That means the ones that were. That means these. They had original names. What are they? The 7 kings of Edom. Now, in the premortal world, in the world of the Klippa, the world of the Satan, in the world of the 974 generations. I really don't want this shiur to be a deep shiur, but it looks like that it's going there. In the premortal world, Netzach and Hod were considered one. That's why in Shmona Yisrael, by the way, you have to put your legs together. Netzach and Hod. Your legs connected, Netzach and Hod. In Shmona Yisrael, your legs have to be together.
As one.
As one.
Malach,
But the Malach, he represents the premortal world. We're the Olam HaTikun. You guys are very big stuff, by the way. In the upper world, they're watching all your every movement, what you guys are doing. So if there are one, then we only have 6. So what takes its place? Da'at. Okay? So you have now 7. Because Netzachot is, remember? 1. What are their names in the premortal world?
One of them is Bella.
That's the first one. Very good.
Ard?
Bella is the first one. Bela Ben, that's Bilam, by the way.
Bilam.
That's Bilam. Kagla, what? Kagzila, what? The next one is Yovav. Anybody know where their names are from? Which parsha? Plus 10 points. Lech Lecha?
No.
You're in the right. Vayishlach, very good. Next one is Husham.
Husham. What is that Bukhari? Bella, Husham.
Actually, Husham is Otiot Mashiach. So it's connected to that king. That's why you think about Bukharians. I think Mashiach is coming from that. Hadad is the next one. Samla is Netzach and Hod. Then next one is our favorite, Shaul. Shaul HaMelech comes from here. Also Moshe Rabbeinu.
From Yisrael?
Yisod, yeah. And Malchut is Baal Hanan. That means this is the names of the original Sfirot. When they were mixed with a lot of bad anomalies. Every week of Sfrat HaOmer,
Fixes one.
you're fixing one back to the good way.
So we fix Bella?
That's crazy. If you think about it, that's crazy. Do you know what you could do in...
We fix it.
you're not with me, guys. Like, I know this, and I'm saying it, and I'm so excited to say it. It's crazy. Like, you're fixing your shorish neshama mamash. Sefirat HaOmer is the...
Hold on.
After you finish Sefirat HaOmer, you have to dive into Hashem. Hashem, tell me... You have to really ask Hashem your wishes. Like, it's a big etra. It's, to me, Sefirat HaOmer is not less... The moment of saying the blessing is no less than Yom Kippur. To me. That's how big it is. Now, you guys don't understand. Maybe you guys didn't learn it. I'm not saying it the right way, but just bear with me, okay?
Just do.
Just
So wait, we're taking it from Bella?
from Bella to Da. You're fixing Bella.
Right.
The first one.
Right.
Bella. It's not Bella, it's Bella.
Bella.
Yeah. Bella means in Hebrew to swallow. It's the head of the klipa.
It's a serious name.
Yeah. Yeah, the name that the Bukharians say is Bella is Italian. It means beautiful in Italian, right? It's not really Bella. Right, bellissimo, right? It's not the same name. This is with an ayin, Bella. You know? Bella, Bil'am. Right? So every week we have to switch them from Yovav to Chesed. This week we're here. Right. I mean, this week is a very tough week.
It's the middle week.
It's the 3rd week, and it's the week that we're fixing Chusham. How do you fix Chusham? How do you do it? Now, I'm going to erase the board. How do you fix Chusham? Where's the... He got it. You guys got this part? More or less you guys got it.
Yes.
Okay?
It's on recording for those who
Okay.
Okay.
To fix them, every king... So let's take our king this week is who? Chusham. Good. Mashiach. Very good. Chushim ben Dan. To fix him, you have to sweeten his shach dinim with his mansapach.
How do you do that?
Oh, that's the kash. How do you take the shach and sweeten it with the mansapach? It happens every week. 1 day a week is every part of the shach dinim. So I'm gonna give you guys. There are 6 of them.
5 din.
Let me go slowly. So there are 6 shachs. There are 6 of these. I'm gonna give you guys tonight only one example.
Okay, yeah, that's enough.
Really, you have to do all 6 every night, because you don't know which 6 you're from. Every person is connected to one of these 6s. There are 6 shachs. See, this is 1 shach, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 of them. Every night we fix a little bit of each. Till the 7th day, Shabbat, no, the 7th day of the Omer, of that week. So this year is going to be Monday night. Right? Every Monday night.
Yeah.
Okay?
We fix them by saying the Omer?
Just by saying the
Sunday
Omer.
night, no? Sunday night.
Monday night, Tuesday. Just by saying though, just by counting. You're fixing, just by saying the number. It's a very big thing. And that's why it burns a lot of people just when they make a joke out of it.
They don't know the value.
That's the problem. That's why we're here. I'm going to go through one shach with you. One. I'm going to go through the shach that most of you guys learned already.
Good.
Or should I do a new one?
Do it.
We'll do both.
Yeah.
We'll do two. A new one
And the
and the old one. Remember I taught you guys that shach is din times 5?
Yeah.
Yes.
Remember I taught you guys
Yeah.
that?
Yes.
So din times 5 is going to be 320.
Okay.
And then when you add the aleph to make it from din
You sweeten the
to amonai, you sweeten it. Remember? That's one of the jobs.
That's the old
That's the old way I taught you. But how do you do it? The first day of Omer of the week,
Yeah.
like tonight. The 15th is the first day.
First day,
It's the 15th day, which is 2 weeks and 1 day. You're fixing from the name Dalet. From the Nun, you're only fixing 41 parts. 41 parts. The second day of the Omer, you're going to fix from this Nun another 9 parts. And the Yud. So Nun from that 9, this is the second day, this is the first day. And once you fix the Yud, you bring in the Aleph. You fix the first Amonai. The first Din. It's a bit complicated, I'm not going to lie to you.
It's a formula.
It's a formula, but you just have to know how to follow it. And you also fix from the second Din, the Dalet, and the Nun, 22 parts. Basically, every day, you're going to fix a little bit of each part, and every time you fix a whole, one of the 5, you send in one Aleph. You said, when do we have this? When did I teach you guys this kavanah? In Amonai, Sifatai, Tiftach. When you said the word Amonai, remember? Over there, you do it in one shot.
Right.
Since we don't do kavanot on, but over there we don't send olives. We just sweeten the dins. We don't send olives over there. Okay? So, no, don't make a whole chimichanga over there. Right? So for example, I'm just gonna show you from the book. You guys won't do the kavanah. Just want to teach you guys how
The concept
of how special Sfirat Omer is. So the first day you see over here.
Put it closer to the camera for a second.
Here, enjoy.
Okay,
Good?
Yeah.
The first day, you fixed the Dalet, the first din. The Nun, 41 parts. And then the second day, Lel Bet, which is going to be tomorrow
Second day,
night.
right.
From that Dalet Nun, you fix 9 parts in a Yud. You send the Aleph. One Aleph.
That one's done.
That one's done. And you also fix the
second-
Dalet, the second din, Dalet Nun, 22 parts. Right? 22 is left from that Nun. 50 minus 22 is 28. So the third day, how would you fix? 28 parts of the Nun, another Yud. You send another Aleph on the third day.
So 50 parts, you have to fix the 50.
Exactly. So what do we always break in the days to make them 7? The Nun.
Nuns.
The Nuns. Because the Nun, that's where the Din is. Because the Nun always goes down, right? It goes down. You need to fix the Nun, right? Mashiach. What's Mashiach? Mem, Shin, Yud, Chet. Mem and Yud. Yud and Mem is what? Nun. Choshen. The Choshen Mishpat. Where was the Urim Betumim? And the Choshen. What's the hardest part of the Shulchan Aruch? The Choshen. The Choshen Mishpat. Right, the Nun, that's where the Bar Nafle is called. He's the son of the Nefel.
So names
Son
with
of-
Nun is not a good name?
No, not a good name.
Alun.
It's not a good name. When I first had my son, both my sons are born Parashat Noach. Both of them. One is Rosh Chodesh Cheshvan, like R.Chaim Vital. One is the 3rd of Cheshvan, like Rav Yosef. So I told my Rebbe, but I said to my Rebbe, I said, I want to name him, the first one at least, Eliyahu. I said, I want to name him Eliyahu. Eliyahu, I had no choice. But I said, I named him Noach. Eliyahu Noach. My wife loved that name. I love that name. I said, I'm not feeling that name so much. He's very nice. But my rabbi is a very nice rabbi. He's too nice. So listen, he said I don't feel the name Nun. So I said I'm not gonna put. Then when I had a daughter, I said I want to put Naomi. Naomi. I like it. I like that. I like the name. Listen, he's like, I'm not feeling the name. I'm not putting it. Now anybody whose name starts with the Nun, I'm not saying anything against it. I don't know why he said that. He just said it. Any complaints, you could, send it over there. I don't know why. I mean, I do, but I'm not gonna tell you anyways. But the letter Nun has a bit of a connotation of nofel.
Falling.
Yeah, it's it's not. There's a folding over there. There's a folding over there. So then it went from Noach to Yonatan. So what about you? There's Nun over there. That's different. It's a Yud Kei Vav over there inside the name. It picks up the Nuns, right? So, anyways, I don't want to get into. I myself don't know the secret of names. He told it to me. So whatever. So the third day, fourth day, the third Dalet Nun. You do the Nun, only 45 parts. The fifth day is the Nun, 2 parts, whatever is left, and the Yud. And then you have another Aleph. And then the fifth day you have, the sixth day you have, Dalet, then a Nun, 29 parts, 21 parts on the sixth day, another Yud, another Aleph, and the last day you fix the last Dalet Nun Yud. You see over here? How you fix everything during the whole week. So it's a week process. Just what during the year you do in 1 second in Amonai Sifat Diftach, in Sfrat HaOmer, since it's such a bigger.
So wait, this.
How you say?
Okay.
In the Sfrat HaOmer, it's such a bigger quality.
Okay.
How
about the other shots?
Something you do much faster, there's less quality to it.
How about the other
What time do
shots?
you do this? At what point?
After you say the day.
After
You say the day, yeah.
How about the other shots?
Oh, the other ones are much easier. Let's do the other ones. So that's the one, but that's the concept that you guys knew. Okay, that's the concept you guys. Let's do one you guys don't know, but it's much easier. If you take the name of God, 45, Yud K Vav K, Yud K Vav K, and you times it by 7. Times that every day you're fixing 1 Yud Kei Vav Kei, and on the last day you add on it the letter Hey, which is the Bina,
280.
right? It's gonna be exactly Shach Dinim. So every day you have Kavanah 1 Yud Kei Vav Kei. I'm sweetening, 1 Yud Kei Vav Kei.
With the Matzabach.
With the Matzabach is sweetening.
Yeah.
The Shach. Yeah. Those Yud Kei are getting sweetened by Matzabach.
So this is much easier.
This one is much easier. It's what you guys never learned yet.
Yeah.
We don't use this during the year, by the way. Only once a
Sfrat
year on Sfrat HaOmer. And there are 6 of them like this. There are 6 shachs like this. 6 of them.
Sweeteners.
Yeah, the Matzabach are sweetening the shachs.
6 methods how to sweeten.
Sweet, right? There's actually more, but the Ari only revealed to him 6. The Chalban says every Jew has a part in one of these 6. Every Jew has a part in one of these 6. That's why he revealed those. These 6 are the kolelim. Chalban's chidush. I like it, and we do all 6. People who want to do kavanah, they do all 6 every night.
Uh-huh.
Well, once you know the formula,
Right.
it's chick chap. But it's not just to just look at it. You have to, some nights you feel it more than another.
Meditate on
If I'm giving a shiur and I have to do it in 10 minutes, I'm not going to really feel it so much. You know what I'm saying? You need to look at it, feel it, think about it, meditate on it, and then things start to happen in life. Okay? Not just for us, for all of Am Yisrael. So that's one kavanah I want to teach you. I know you guys might have not learned it so well tonight, because we don't have enough time. It's almost 10:30. Yeah? So we went really over time. Huh? You want to take the page?
No, I want to see it.
You want to enjoy?
What book is this?
This is Kavanot Sfrat HaOmer of the Rashash. Okay? And maybe this summer, teachers usually have off on the summer.
Wow.
If I don't find a
Summer gig.
summer gig, maybe we could learn a little bit more every single day.
Do tests.
And to do tests, I have to prepare, and I'm trying to run away from it. No, okay. So,
Teach us.
and we could, sure. It will be my pleasure. And we could really delve into it this summer. But I just want to teach you guys tonight that in the Zchut of R.Chaim Vital, what really is just to say a bracha al sefirat. I'm not telling you guys to do this stuff, but there's so much into it, so much that's working behind. It's not just, I'm saying Sfat Omer, I'm counting down to Shavuot. It's nothing to do with it. It is to do with that, but that's on the surface. You're I'll say more than this. When you guys count Sfat Omer with Kavanah, the Israeli army's victory depends on you.
I like that.
It depends on
Can I
you.
say it again?
You know, it sounds bad to a person who's kochi ve'otze miyadi, but that's the truth. It depends on you. And also, I'm gonna tell you guys again. You know, as we getting older, we see that we need more and more zichuyot, that our kids should go on the right derech, that they should have good zivugim, and we want that our descendants should be in the right way of Hashem. Take the opportunity when you say Sfat Omer, even if it's just for 5 minutes, to pray to Hashem personally and say, Hashem Yitbarach, please help that my descendants should go on the right way. I should have Hatzlacha to do whatever you want me to do. And so tonight is an Et Ratzon specific. It's Rosh Chodesh Iyar. Yeah, Ani Hashem Rofecha Chodesh Iyar. And it's a very... By the way, the first temple was finished to be built when? In Iyar. When did he do the party? In Tishrei. He waited. That means God owes Iyar a party. Hopefully we have a couple of hours to make it come true. The Beis HaMikdash should come down. Guys, it's very possible. Things are going... Everybody, the whole world feels it, by the way. You think it's just us? I'm telling you, those guys across the street, they're feeling it like crazy, you know? Much more than us. I feel they feel it much more than us. Hashem should bless all you guys with bracha, rebacha, tzachah, parnasah, refuah, yishua gedol, v'kol habrachot, v'kol hayishua, v'kol hatzlachot, v'kol hayishua, v'chesed, alright? Ben Agashya.